Good morning to you. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us on Up to the Minute. We've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour or so. Now, if you feel like today's Monday, it's perfectly fine because I spent all day yesterday thinking it was Sunday, but it's not. It wasn't Sunday. Today's actually Tuesday. I know you're thoroughly confused, but it's a 4-day week. That's the good part about it. And the weekend is already in sight. So there, you have that at least. We have got a great show lined up for you. Being that it's Tuesday, it's Tasty Tuesday. And we're also going to take you out to talk about our Fab Labs as well. Dr. Tony Reyes Sutherland joins me this morning from her home studio. Good morning to you, Tony, on this Tuesday, not a Monday.
Good morning. And yes, you're right. It's Tuesday. Yesterday, I thought it was Sunday all day. But hey, it's a short week, and that's a good thing.
Yes, it is a short week. And we got a lot going on this week. We're only on the air twice this week because we've got, of course, yesterday was a holiday. It was Monday. All right. We already been over that. We should hashtag today. Hashtag it's not Monday. So we'll hashtag that.
Really?
And then Thursday and Friday, we're going to be on special assignment. So you'll have best of Up to the Minutes running. So we're really only here today and tomorrow. So that'll confuse you even more. But beyond the confusion, we've got a great show lined up for you. Thanks to all of you watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here most of the time, every weekday at 10 a.m. when HCC is in session. You can also watch us in social media and on HCCTV, Tony.
Yes, just look for Houston Community College District, not just the HCC. Go to Houston Community College District, and you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, just all over the place on social media. So watch us there.
Okay, once again, hashtag it's not Monday. Tony, you'll be interviewing this next guest. He's joining us now from his home. He's the supervisor of Fabrication and Innovation Lab, Material Science and Smart Manufacturing Center of Excellence. That's a heck of a long title. Roland Fields joins us. He's back on the show. Good to see you, Roland.
Morning, how you doing?
We are doing good. So the Fab Labs don't stand for fabulous, although they are fabulous, but we'll talk all about them.
They are fabulous.
Coming up. So maybe you can break down exactly what FAB does stand for when we get back to you, Roland, but we'll go with you in about 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to kick things off. Tasty Tuesday. It is that day. Cook Lamb joins us. She's a local private chef and caterer with JustCucIt classes, and she joins us live this morning. Welcome back to the show, Cook. How are you?
Hi, Todd. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. Now, we want to hear all about your new business, but first we want you to say something about AAPI, which we kind of breezed through this month, but it's Asian Islander Pacific, Asian American Pacific Islander. And I also hear this year is the first year they've added in the Hawaiian moniker as well.
Yes. So yeah, it is a mouthful. Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month is May every year. But you certainly, you celebrate all the time. It doesn't have to be a special month to eat Asian foods, especially here in Houston.
Absolutely. Now the month goes through May. Maybe you can, we've been talking with a lot of people about their heritage story. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yours.
Oh, very quickly. I'm a boat person. I came to America when I was 3. I'm 47 now, so I've been here 45 years, 45 years. And I came from Saigon, Vietnam. I was born in Phu Quoc. It's in a small island where they make fish sauce. Traveled here with my mother and my sister, and it took us 41 days to cross some waters and get here.
You know, you mentioned fish sauce, and I think on Andrew Zimmern's show, he went to a place where and showed how they make fish sauce, and it was fascinating. And you're telling me the island that you come from specializes in making fish sauce?
Yes, sir. Phu Quoc. My grandfather used to make fish sauce, and it smells horrid, but it's delicious, and it's the best thing. And when you're cooking with food without using salt, you use the fish sauce, and it's so much umami flavor.
It is incredible. I always keep some in my cabinet here. Now, tell us what the Houston Chronicle had to say about you, because they gave you a great honor.
Yeah, Houston Chronicle's been wonderful. Greg Morago put together the Bayou City cookbook last year and included my spring roll recipe. And I wanted to make sure that I got to share that with you guys today. I was also picked as one of the top women of color chefs in Houston. What a wonderful honor to be included in that list. And so I'm excited to be with you today.
And they highlighted that spring roll recipe in the Chronicle as well, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
That's very cool. And when we had you on the show before, you were with a small Katie restaurant, but now you have your own cooking classes. Maybe you can tell us about those.
Okay, I left Yellow a little while ago, and I'm now doing private cooking classes in my home. I cater events. I just catered a wedding for 200 a month ago. Yeah, that was huge. But it's been a lot of fun. It's nice to be home, and it's nice to be with my dog. You can hear in the background. I'm very sorry about that.
That's quite all right. We got a couple around here. They're just on resting right now. They'll be barking later. Tell us, when you're cooking for a group of 200 people, just off the top of my head, how many spring rolls do you have to prepare for that?
I think we did 75, and then we cut them into bite-sized pieces.
Okay. That makes it a little more manageable, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot of rolling.
So you do private catering, but you also do these cooking classes. And do you offer them online, or are they in person? How does that work?
Right now, I'm offering them through foodie groups on Facebook and just word of mouth. I haven't had any issues, selling my seats, so I haven't reached out past Facebook and Instagram. But I do like dumpling classes, spring roll classes, egg roll classes. So it's a lot of fun. I do small 8-person classes here in the home.
Now, tell us about what you're going to be doing for us today. I imagine it's going to involve spring rolls.
Yes. So I have the ingredients for spring rolls. The best part about spring rolls is you don't have to have everything. You just use whatever's in your fridge. I always pull together any leftovers I have. Today I have some leftover green apple that we cut up the night before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Some pickled carrots. I always keep pickled veggies in my fridge. Rice vermicelli noodles. So easy. Takes about 5 minutes to boil. Some shrimp. Leftover rib meat from barbecue we had a couple of days ago. And then I fried up some tofu to show you that it's a great vegetarian option as well. Yep. I think one of the highlights of having spring rolls is it's a gluten-free meal. And so it really can feed anybody. Either, if you are allergic to peanuts, you wouldn't put peanuts in your hoisin sauce. But other than that, everything's gluten-free.
And you take the spring rolls. Are these the translucent ones? I see you got them right there.
Right here. I brought the package for you to see, but certainly they come in a lot of different brands. It's just tapioca flour, rice flour. It's, so simple, and it looks really thin if you can see how thin it is.
Oh, yeah.
And very delicate, so it's easy to break. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this. You activate it with some warm or hot water, and I have some in my sink here. I just turn the paper around.
And if you haven't worked with them like that before, I know from personal experience, it's easy to break them, and then you have to start over again. But you get a number of them when you buy them in that package.
You get about 25 in one of those packages.
Yeah.
So you have a very fine amount of time to work with your rice paper after you wetted it before it becomes gummy.
Yeah.
So I want to say between 30 seconds to a minute. So I'm going to work and talk really quickly here. I've got my paper already wetted. Right. I'm going to hold it up and show you. Some of my veggies here include just lettuce, mince, cilantro. I'm including some enoki mushrooms that we had left over from soup that I made the other night. Love enoki mushrooms, if you see those.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to put some shrimp in here. And I'll hold my paper up to show you what I'm doing. So you notice I've started in the middle of the paper. And I put my shrimp down at the very end of the paper. So I'm going to start putting some noodle on here. And it's kind of like building a burrito.
Yeah, yeah.
You wrap this, and it's fresh. You don't have to fry it or cook it. Some of my green apple here. When you start to roll, I'm going to take the piece that's closest to me, and I'm going to fold it up, and then I'm going to fold the two sides in like an envelope.
Right.
Let me do that here.
And you're going to have to, I can tell you by personal experience, you'll have to give this a few tries, because the first ones I made kind of looked like an old sock that had some things stuffed in them. And it took me about 10 tries to get to that right there. But yeah, they all taste the same though.
I have a funny quick story of my boyfriend. When he first met my parents, he thought he was going to impress them with spring rolls. So
didn't quite work, huh?
To put everything he wanted in that roll, and it was too big to fold. So
yeah.
This is the first spring roll. And this is a shrimp spring roll. Okay, we're going to go through that one more time.
Yep. And you know, one thing too, I've noticed, because once you get the knack of it, and it really is much easier to make them on your own. I noticed that sometimes I'll buy these at a grocery store where they're made, and by the time I get them home, it tastes they have that gummy thing you're talking about, and it just doesn't have the same flavor.
So rice paper, actually, if you do not wrap it with plastic, actual like plastic around it, it'll start to dry out, and it's not very flavorful at that point. So I advise, if you do have to make it ahead of time, wrap it with plastic, and you can leave it out. You don't even have to refrigerate it for a little bit.
Okay.
But once you refrigerate it, the noodles become hard and the rice paper becomes dry. So that's where you have to be careful. This one's going to be a vegetarian one, so I'm going to add my tofu here. This is freshly fried tofu. I just put a little salt, pepper, and a little sugar, a little white pepper into it. And
now, do you use the fish sauce from your home island for this to dip in?
So honestly, no, it's a little pricey.
That's what I was wondering.
My go-to brand has always been called Squid. I'll pull a bottle to show you, but it's easier to cook with right now, and it's one that I can find anywhere. Yeah. And so over the past like 5 or 6 years, I've used that brand.
That's what I've got in my cabinets. Yeah, Squid. Yep. So there you go. Very easy to prepare. Prepare them at home. Nothing like having them made fresh right there, and just tear through them and grab some of that fish sauce. You can't have them without it.
So this is the peanut hoisin sambal that's in the recipe as well for the spring rolls.
And I've tried making that on my own. I just never can get the right ingredients in there. So I'm going to have to look at your recipe for that.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd.
Cook, we appreciate you being here on the show. We're going to have all the information for Cook Lamb, private chef and caterer, JustCucIt cooking classes. We'll have all your information on social media posts. Thanks, Cook. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, Tony, I know you're probably hungry now. We showed you a few spring rolls.
Yes, I am.
So I do expect you to bring some to the office next time.
You always make me hungry, but I don't know I'm okay with Italian food and Cajun food. I can make that.
It's real easy, Tony.
But
There's no cooking involved.
Okay, I'll try.
There's no cooking. All right. All right, I'll turn things over to you because you got a special guest talking about the Fab Labs.
Yes. We have Roland Fields, supervisor of the Fabrication and Innovation Lab of the Material Science and Smart Manufacturing COE. That's a mouthful, but welcome to the show, Roland.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now I understand we've interviewed you before and seen some of your wonderful equipment before, but now you've got new equipment, right?
Yeah, we actually are always trying to find something that is more mainstream, or actually to broaden because we're manufacturing focused. So we're trying to have a little bit of everything. And so the new thing was a Fuse One and what that one does is nylon laser powder. So we have a powder system, just like you would also see in metal, but that one's too sophisticated, too expensive. So we went with just nylon. So it was a lot cheaper.
Okay.
Well, but it's a really cool. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was looking at some of the pictures that you sent us, and one of them, when I looked at it, it looked like it was a motorcycle helmet. That's what it looked like, a black motorcycle helmet. What is that?
That's your welding helmet. So basically, we are next door to welding at our campus, and we found out they had some extra units that we could possibly get hold of. So we begged. So they do welding, but they do a continuing education, and they do it as a 2-year cycle. So they don't really do hobbyist level welding. So we got one, and we're hoping that we'll put together hobby level, which is one day, just real brief. This is one machine. and just give you some basics, because a lot of kids just are not even kids. Young adults and adults need to just do some real basic stuff for their projects. And it's not going to hold. It's not going to be structural. You're not going to drive it in your car, So we're hoping to do that, but we haven't gotten there yet. We just very briefly started it. We got hold of one piece of equipment, and I'm really good at begging, so I'll go and beg some more.
Yeah, I understand.
I do a lot of begging.
That's what it takes.
I do a lot of begging.
Your knees hurt after a while, though.
I've got a phone pass for that. I'm prepared to do long-term begging.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Well, now, do some hobbyist level.
Now, I understand there's all kinds of people who come to the Fab Lab. You got engineering teams and manufacturing students. Tell us a little bit about how the different machines and all that, how does it help them? How does it help them understand their field of study?
Well, what it really comes down to nowadays is that, of course, as we all know, it's just a use and throw away society. So what happens is, unlike maybe years and years in the past, the students don't have much hands-on fabrication capability. So what the lab gives them everything from a basic having the screwdrivers and the hammers, a little bit experience about how taking a piece of junk or raw material and turning it into your project. We help them with that. And so we're just really, we're more of a resource lab. So more than most fab labs, we're a resource lab. So we get students that don't know what a screwdriver is. And that's fine. And it really is fine. And just like, please come in and we'll try to help you. That's what we're there for. And then sometimes we have a little bit of experience. Unfortunately, we're getting older, and older means experience. And so they try to do something like, you might want to think about that one a little bit more.
They're used to using it one way, and there's something different about it, right?
Well, they're trying to achieve something that's like, so you got your safety equipment on, and you might want to stand back because what you're going to do is not good.
Very important.
So
very important.
Sometimes it's fun.
So now you have new laser. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have new laser printers that you were telling us about. Tell us a little bit more about that.
That was the fuse. So the fuse is your powder laser, and what that lets you do is most of the type systems we have. Just to give you an example, if you made a small vase, they would not be water tight. But with a fused laser system, you basically, unless you're doing really thin stuff, it's going to be watertight. So a very strong structural watertight piece. So you can do little pipe valves and stuff like that. There are definitely some limitations. And that's what we want to have the equipment for, because all these various types of manufacturing have their own inherent limitations, so that when we have the equipment and we have samples and they actually go and make mistakes and run on our machines because they don't believe us, then they can find out that, you can't do certain things. One of the biggest problems with 3D printing is everybody always tries to print everything in one part. It's like, no. Sometimes you got to make it multiple pieces. And then the other one is we actually got one of our problems in the lab is we don't have volume capability. So 3D printing doesn't lend itself to high volume. But like all sorts of manufacturing processes, if you have multiple machines, then you can actually lend yourself to some sort of manufacturing processes where you need more volume. Now, our problem is just that it's not so much we need 5,000 parts. It's just that we need 20 parts or 100 parts. So now we have a new rack of 6 machines that are all exactly alike. And what we call that is a printer farm. So we have an introduction to a printer farm. It's not a sophisticated printer farm. It's just basically 6 machines that all can be used at the same time. And the other one for us, of course, is that when we do get 6 or 7 teams, you're talking about, 3 to 4 people per team. And they all have a project. That's a lot of production for a very tiny lab. And so now we can actually have enough capacity to do, 6 different gears, if that's what we need to do, for the 6 different teams. So it's neat that, number one, because it's typical, finding out we exist is one of our problems. That's why we love doing these shows with you guys, get the word out. You can be a continuing education student. You can be a credit student. Either one fits in our lab. And so you can come in. The other one that a lot of people don't get, because actually stands at our door, even though I have a sign that says, please come in, is you can bring your, escorted kids in. You can bring your dad in. We have one guy who brought his dad over because dad used to be an engineer and he's one, see what was going on these days. So the spectrum is everywhere. Everyone's welcome. You don't have to have an appointment. If you do have a group, we have some Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, which just now are getting back on out and about. We can do that too. Just contact us, and we'd be happy to have you can just walk in the door if you want. I've got a couple of my own Facebook. Yeah.
So you do all those things. Teams, you got drafting students, you got continuing education, you've got everybody that can come, young and old. I have an attorney who's retired and she comes in and does her art. So she's making jewelry. I have a retired doctor and he comes in and just makes all sorts of stuff, mechanical stuff. He's a big bicycling fan, but he also makes other stuff. And I have another not retired person who runs a small business, but she basically by noon is done and she just wants something else to do because everybody's been cooped up. So she's been coming to my lab for a couple of years now. So we've got some core people who come in, pretty steadily. The engineering teams are just now starting to come back. COVID has a tendency to wipe out everybody's attendance and then everybody forgets about you. So they're just now rediscovering us, which is really cool. Wonderful. Well, we're going to have information about how to come to your lab and how to, like you said you can just walk in, but it would be good to give you some notice, I would think.
And we're there Tuesday through Saturday. We're not there Monday. Particularly if you're going to bring more than, just a couple of people, let us know. Another one too, like I said, if you want to bring a group, I can, I'm there all the time. I'll be happy to spend extra hours after the lab is normally closed, or tell you when we're most likely to not be occupied. And you're welcome to come, but you're welcome to just drop in. There's a lot of 3D printing enthusiasts out there who've got their own printer. If you want to see the next level, you want to see some commercial machines, come in, touch them, feel them, look at them.
Good place to visit, even if you're just visiting to check it out. Very good. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate having you on the show all the time. It's always something new and fun and different.
All right. Thanks, Roland and Tony. And remember, they're not there on Mondays because, well, it's all right because today's not Monday. It's Tuesday. Yeah. Keep that in mind. Yeah.
So you can go today.
Yeah, we're on Tuesday. All right. We're going to move on to some HCC news and announcements. We're going to kick off things with admission information sessions. Now, enrollment's underway. If you want to enroll at HCC wants to help students take the next step during virtual afternoon and evening information sessions. It's going on through today, Tuesdays and Thursdays in May. Of course, it's free. If you want to attend one of those sessions, you can do that today. We'll have the link in our social media post. Okay, manufacturing summer camps. They're happening out at Stafford.
Yes, HCC's Material Science and Smart Manufacturing COE is offering a summer camp for high school juniors and seniors to learn computer-aided design, plasma cutting, and robotic instrumentation. Now that sounds like fun. June 6th through the 10th is when that's happening at HCC Southwest at our Stafford campus.
Okay, MBDA Salute to Minorities in Construction. The Houston MBDA Business Center, operated by HCC, is presenting its annual Salute to Minorities in Construction to honor minority-owned construction organizations that support them. Awards will also be given out during the event. The event itself is happening next League of Houston. If you'd like to go, we'll have a link in our social media post where you can register to attend. Okay, DEI, they've got professional development training happening, I believe, coming up in a few weeks.
Yes, Dr. Donna Davis, DEI officer, is hosting a virtual morning and afternoon professional development training and certificate program. One is called Gender Equity. There's 2 days and 2 times that you can go. The morning session is 10:30 to noon, 10:30 a.m. to noon, Tuesday, June 21st. And then the afternoon session is 2:30 to 4 p.m. Wednesday, June 22nd. And we'll have information in our post after the show to figure out how you can register for that.
Yeah. And Tony, they also have a podcast this week. Is that correct?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. In fact, it's this Friday. Thursday. It's this Thursday. Yeah. And that's a good one. That's at 11:30.
Yes. So we'll have more information tomorrow on that. Get your degree for free. Now, you remember the Eagle Promise program? Well, they are back. HCC helps you earn a degree for free with the Eagle Promise program, offering qualifying students money to cover tuition, fees, and books. It's a great deal. Want to sign up? Well, we'll have the link in our social media post after the show. And as we mentioned earlier, there is, and this is very confusing, we're only on the air today and tomorrow with up to the minute on Thursday and Friday.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we're live part of the time, and we're playing back our best of. Yeah,
our best of will be on Thursday and Friday.
So the point is, we're going to be on the air every day. It's just some of it will be live and some will be best of, right?
Yep. So keep that in mind, Thursday and Friday. Don't get confused. The weekend doesn't start early. Okay. Fall registration is underway. Of course, summer registration is ongoing right now. Summer classes start the first session, June 6th. So keep that in mind. But fall registration is happening as well. Register for fall 2022 right now. 5 ways to learn online anytime, online in a schedule, hybrid, in-person classes, that's right, and hybrid lab. Those are all available for you, but you need to go register today. Go to hccs.edu/apply. Okay, tomorrow on the show, we'll look forward to congratulating Dr. Helen Graham for just being announced as HCC's Dean of Liberal Arts and Humanities. Well deserved. Looking forward to hearing from her tomorrow. And it's Gaming Wednesday tomorrow.
Yes, we'll welcome the return of Jeff Rauner of the Houston Press to tell us the latest from the gaming world. So that should be fun.
Yes, we have a lot going on tomorrow on Up to the Minute. We'll see you then live, 10 a.m. right here.